To the point, formative, entertaining, and protecting the Second Amendment. Welcome back to Elfster's Rifles and Reloading. I'm getting back to you guys with another quick tip video on how to save time in regards to dropping powder, especially for you guys that are new and just getting into the reloading world. And I wouldn't say this exponentially increases your powder drop time, but it definitely makes a difference. You know, the trick is to simply get two identical pans that weigh the exact same amount. And regardless of the electronic scale and powder drop, if it's a Chargemaster or FX120i, as long as you can obtain two of the same pans, I should say, and make them weigh the exact same amount, it definitely makes a difference. So let me show you what I did, at least with the FX20i and these upgraded Area 419 pans for my FX120i lab scale. Let's get this going. So just one quick note here for those that are absolutely new to my channel, never seen my videos before, and you're interested in the specific FX120i auto-trickler V3 combo unit, along with all these other Area 419 upgrades that I got from Data Weighing Systems, check out my playlist area. I have an insanely in-depth video series on all of these products. Now, this is the original pan that I got along with the rest of my Area 419 upgrades. Now, this specific pan weighs 749.20 grains. As a matter of fact, I'm going to write that right on my bench, 749.20. Now, in order to make this pan weigh the exact same as the new pan, all I really did is I taped in a crisscross fashion some electrical tape, and I just cut up some roughly 3/4 of an inch electrical tape, and I got a decent brand. You know, this is a 3M brand, I believe. Just make sure it's not an El Cheapo electrician's tape brand here. And I just cut up some roughly 3/4 to an inch long pieces and just crisscrossed it on the bottom of this pan. Matter of fact, you can see, at least with this Area 419 pan, they give you an ample well on the bottom of this pan to hide whatever weight you need to achieve to make these weigh the exact same amount. That's literally all I did, is I just took a piece on here and took another piece and just crisscrossed it to the point where it was just shy, roughly 0.3 grains shy of the old pan. As a matter of fact, let me get this tape off. And that's exactly what I did. And this actually weighed a considerable amount less in regards to the original pan that I had. You can see how much more tape I had to add on there to get this close to the original one. And I purposely ran it 0.3 grains short. And the reason why, what I like to do is I like to put the adjustment piece of tape on the outside of the pan in case I need to tweak it out for some reason. And typically what I'll do is I'll get it close within 0.3 grains and I'll shave off a piece of tape just like this. And this pan here, like I just showed you guys, weighs 749.20, and we're going to try and make this one weigh the exact same amount. And I put just enough on here of 0.3 grains short, and I'm going to show that to you right now. So roughly 0.3, it doesn't have to be perfect, but 748.92. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of tape and put it on the outside, and I'm going to use this as an adjustment piece of tape. Just in case I need to tweak it out in the future, I'm not screwing around with all of this. I'm just screwing around with this little piece of tape that I'm eventually just going to plaster on the side of the pan. And I need to achieve that 749.20. And you can see we're pretty close, 749.46. So I'm just going to keep on shaving off. So you can see I didn't shave off much there. Doesn't take much. And let's see what this comes up with. So 749.38. So we're just going to keep on whittling this down until we get to that number. something just like that. Let me clear off all these other shavings. And right there, we are right on the money, 749.20. I'm going to pull this off, put this back on, and you can see I'm going to let it settle down just a little bit. It's still at 2.2. So I am going to take the smallest amount. When I say the smallest amount, I mean it is literally that much. It is that dinky just to achieve that perfect 749.20. So let's keep on going. You can see it's kind of hovering between 2.0 and 2.2. Let's take off another dinky smidgen here. There's the other dinky piece. It is that sensitive, my friends. And right there, I think we should be good to go. 749.20. And let's just make sure the other pan is still 749.20. Looking good. So at this point, once I feel confident that this is settled down, and this amount along with this little piece of tape and this bulk mass underneath, this is my adjustment piece. I like to have this on the outside in case I need to tweak this out just a little bit so I'm not screwing with all of this. I could take this and I'm going to put it specifically right in the front so I know that this is the pan that has all the tape adjustment to make sure that these both weigh the same. And just another trick I can do is put this on. We're going to zero this out. This is the one that has the tape on it, 749.20. And I'm going to double check the zeros on this. Looking good. And yeah, another reason why I highly suggest using kitchen countertop and having brake cleaner in your reloading room is for that specific purpose. So let's drop 42 grains of H4350. I'm going to grab my original pan here. Notice it's not drifting. It says 749.20. Put this on. I'm going to let this settle out. 0.0. Tap to set target. Let's drop 42 grains of H4350 into these casings. Now I'm grabbing my other pan here that has the tape on it. So right on the money. So while I'm pulling this one out, I'm putting this one in. And while I'm dropping powder here, moving my funnel to the next one, I'm coming back around. Then 0.02 of our target weight, so I'm happy with that. As long as I'm with 0.02, we're good to go. So dropping powder, moving over to the next casing. So this is typically what I would be reloading at this speed. But you can see I am going to save this much time. So then 0.02, so 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I would say I just saved 8 seconds there per powder drop. Then 0.02, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I would say you're saving roughly about 8 seconds. Times by 50 pieces, that adds up quick in the reloading room. Now obviously if you're skilled enough And if you don't mind doing this and you have the tools to do it, you could remove some of the base or some part of the handle, especially if it's really, really close. In this scenario, I had to add a tremendous amount of tape here to make them weigh the same. So I felt like I was going to end up removing way too much material to get these to weigh the exact same amount. So I think this electrical tape method would be the route to go. But if you get two pans and obviously they weigh so darn close within less than a grain, you might want to consider just removing part of the pan itself, you know, maybe at the bottom of the base or maybe off the handle. But being that this was so much, I decided just to go the tape method, and I think this will work just fine. Well, I hope this little quick tip video helps you out, especially if you're new to the game. And, you know, just showing you here, you know, roughly 7 to 8 seconds per powder drop. If I use 7 seconds times what, 50, it's 350 seconds. You know, you're talking almost 6 minutes of savings in the reloading room that you can spend out at the rifle range. Not exponential, but it's definitely saving you some time. Now, give you some quick advice here. If you are going to plan on doing this, it's very important to make sure you test this out quick before you start your reloading process. Put one pan on, put the other one pan on, go back and forth, maybe about, you know, 5-6 times, make sure they're reading exactly the same. And also, once in a while, you might want to just stop and slow down and let that tray settle down and make sure it's settling out. In this specific example, 749.20, and it's not drifting. It's not, this starts reading 749.15 and 10, and it's definitely starting to drift. You need to stop your process and figure out what's going on. And more times than not, that's usually electrical interference, or maybe you have some splash out and some specks of powder have dropped on your tray, or especially the lab scale itself. You got to get that figured out. And that's something you definitely need to keep an eye on. But regardless of your electronic scale and powder drop, if it's a Charge Master or IntelliDropper or whatever, this should work for you as long as you get the identical pan and make it weigh exactly the same amount. I hope you guys learned something here. And if you did, scratch my back, and I'll continue to scratch your back with this amazing content by not only subscribe, like, and share. Hit that notification bell, and when you do, hit notification all. Become a Patreon. It helps out more than you know, and I will see you guys right next time.